Good morning, everyone. I'm David Okerson, President of the Board of the Unitarian Universalist Church in Reston. Whether you are on Zoom or here in the church sanctuary, we are so glad you are with us this morning. No matter how old or how young you are, as you can see how young, that incidentally was in honor of our board meeting this week. Wherever you are in your spiritual journey, however you identify, and whomever you love, know you are welcome here. I have a few important announcements this morning. Today, after worship, Kathy Deligianis will be available to take individual and family photos for the church directory. If your photo is outdated, please see Kathy after church. There she is, in the back. I will remind you again at the end, so no one has a good excuse to forget. Please sign up by February 1st to perform in the Valentine's Day Cabaret on Saturday, February 17th at 7 p.m. Please pick up a flyer in the foyer to learn more and contact David Niemi with questions. Now let us center ourselves for worship. Please take some deep, quieting breaths with me. Let us enter the time of worship together as we enjoy this morning's prelude.
Good morning. My name is Cynthia Young. I'm the music director here at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Reston. And welcome to this Sunday's service where we're going to be celebrating our hymnals. If you arrived and have not been aware, we are collecting your requests for hymns. And a few times during the service, we're going to reach into this basket and pull out your hymn requests. If you would like to request a hymn and you haven't done so yet, just please raise your hand and one of our service leaders will come to you with a pen and a piece of paper, and it's not too late to put a hymn request in the basket. Okay, we have a few. All right, can some of you go around? All right, so we will be collecting your requests, and in the meantime, our prelude is, of course, a hymn. Number 346, Come Sing a Song with Me, which is the title of our service today. So please rise in body or spirit and join us.
I know Good morning. Welcome to our UUCR No Fault Choir. That's all of us. We hope you'll come ready to join in the singing, whether you know the tune or not. It's the spirit that counts. It has been pointed out that we UUs have no single holy writ or good book that we hold in common to reflect our beliefs and values. What we do have are hymnals. Jason Shelton, a UU musician and minister, has written, "A hymn book represents the theological and ecclesial self-understanding of a religious movement at a particular moment in history, and thus it functions as a kind of sacred scripture. Singing together is one of the great community builders. Someone once wrote that the world would be a sad and quiet place if only those birds sing who sing best." So today and every Sunday, we invite you to sing out. For our opening hymn this morning, we'll start at the beginning with hymn number 1, "May Nothing Evil Cross This Door." The words are in your order of service, or you can use the gray hymnals. Please rise in body or spirit and join in the singing.
Today's chalice lighting reading is by Richard Gilbert, inspired by the hymn number 362, which goes, "Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show us your beauty, vision, and joy." This is his poem entitled, "May We Be Keepers of Thy Flame." O flaming chalice, symbol of a free faith, burn with holy oil of hopefulness and service. Spread warmth and light and hope. Warm hearts grown old with indifference. Light dark places with justice. Kindle hope in despair. May we bring fuel for thy fire of love. May the oil of kindness flow from us to thy leaping flame. May hands of service shelter thee, that no winds of hate may extinguish thy brightness. May the light and warmth be eternal. May we be keepers of thy flame.
Good morning. Here at UUCR, we have a closely held tradition of singing our covenant together every Sunday. Love is the spirit of this church. We'll remain seated as we sing our covenant together. The words are on the back of your order of service. And if you're visiting us here for the first time today, please accept this song as our blessing to you.
And use this mic. Now is the time of our service dedicated to the young and young of heart. So if you are feeling young or young of heart, I invite you to come forward and be up here with me. Thank you. Awesome. Come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, come on in, guys. Come on. Oh, I love it, children. Please take a seat, kiddos. And parents accompanying. Thank you. Thank you. Come on up. So today is a special service that I am so excited that Cynthia has put together for us. It is a celebration of our music and our hymns and our hymnals. And today I'm going to kind of introduce you kids and maybe some of you adults to something that maybe you didn't know we had, which is a purple hymnal. Ah, pero está bien que es mejor que está morado. Porque es en español. It's totally in Spanish. And it was originally hoped to come about by a congregation in California that could reflect their actual congregation. And that they started looking at creating this hymnal back in 1999, and it took about 10 years for it to come together. And in 2009, it was published, and it is called Las Voces del Camino, which goes in line with singing the journey. And today, I'm going to sing for you one of those things that might be holy writ in our beloved UU tradition, which is hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. And we know it well. That was originally written in 1935 by Carol McDade. 1935 was a pretty profound time in this country. And the words in that hymn are also pretty profound. And they're very simple. Spirit of life, they translate to fuente de amor. And fuente de amor doesn't directly translate to spirit of life. Fuente means spring or fountain, de amor of love. And that alone, that change alone changes the way we think about maybe what spirit of life means, fountain of love. And that's what is a really big thing about having different languages and how it can help us understand things, maybe on a different level. Fuente de amor. Do you guys know any neighbors or friends or classmates who speak Spanish? Yeah. Do you ever speak Spanish with them? No. That's okay. That's okay. It's really hard. You know, languages can be really hard, and it can make it hard to connect with another person if you can't speak their language. So I think this hymnal and the work that we aim to do with multiculturalism, which is like inclusion and vision of each other's cultures and backgrounds and celebratory traditions. These things are all wonderful, but we're also aiming to be intercultural, which is working to dismantle that which keeps us self-segregating. That which says, you know what, we're really comfortable in this English language and we all speak it, but do you know that powerful words in Spirit of Life? Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Isn't that something you'd want to share? That's something I want to share, especially with our Spanish-speaking neighbors and classmates, because it's a beautiful message. So I'll sing it for you guys. Do you want to hear it in Spanish? All right. Sí, qué bueno, mucho, qué bueno. All right. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón cántale tu compasión. Sopla al volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arraigame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. Thank you for humming that with me, singing it with me to the best of your ability. Children, today is going to be a really fun day. Whether you're upstairs or downstairs, you have a choice. It's your choice. We're going to do Valentine's downstairs, or you can choose to stay upstairs and sing your little hearts out. Both are good choices. So we will sing the children out, and if you want to come downstairs, come follow me, kiddos.
Good morning. Now is the time for sharing of our joys and concerns. But before we do that, we do have to make a more formal announcement to you of a communal joy that we want to share. Megan Pitlick Schmitt and Mike Schmitt would like to share with you that they have a new baby girl named Ivy Alana. Born on Thursday, January 25th, we send our love and blessings to little Ivy and to Megan, Mike and Ivy's big sister Vivian. We celebrate your joy and hold you in our hearts. Our sharing of joys and concerns is an important part of our service so that no one ever has to hold them alone. If you are joining us remotely this morning, you may wish to light a real or virtual candle wherever you are to mark what is in your heart. For those that are here in person, you will place stones in the water bowl here that we have prepared for you in the sanctuary. If those of you at home would like to share what is in your heart, please do it in the congregational chat that is on your screen. But please remember, write to all attendees, and that what you share will be made public. Let us now enter into a time of reflection and prayer as we listen to our meditation music. Please come forward now. May I invite you now to continue our time of reflection in prayer. Spirit of life and love, we feel your presence in the spiritual energy created by all of us, now, here, this hour. May all that is done and sung and said here today be of service to love and justice. We hold in our hearts this morning all those who are facing hardship and difficulty, both here and around the world. Those who are grieving or facing illness or disability themselves or loved ones or friends and neighbors. There are horrific situations in the world. in Ukraine and in the Middle East. With all that we face, may we find solace in music and songs that we hear and sing that have the power to somehow, at times, carry us into joy. For the joyful, may jubilant songs echo in our hearts well beyond fading memories. For the sorrowful, may gentle songs of solace bring lasting healing to our hearts and minds. For the angry, may we join our voices together in songs of protest and hope. For the mindful, may we sing the praises of earth's beauty and honor the unique songs of all beings. For all of us here in our community and our world, may we sing to the morning and evening stars as they guide our journeys. Amen and amen.
As a self-funded church, UUCR relies on the generosity of its members and friends to fund daily operations and to ensure the church and its resources are here for us and others, now and in the future. Pledges support our worship and music programs, our religious education program, programs for members and friends, community outreach, and connections to Unitarian Universalism. We now invite you to support the work of UU Reston by making your donations to the collection plate if you are here in the sanctuary, or at the link in the slide and in the chat box. Thank you for your generosity and support of our beloved spiritual home.
Our offering music today is going to be our first requested hymn. So this will be fun. Are you ready? We've got a bunch of hymns here. I'm going to ask Carolyn to come up here and choose one. And while we do that, I would like to thank our pianist Diane, who is putting up with this idea of citing any hymn in the whole book. So thank you. Hymn number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, in the green teal hymnal.
Grace.
When I was planning my father's memorial service in the summer of '22, I picked up the gray hymnal, Singing the Living Tradition, that had forever lived on the lid of my mother's upright piano. I only recently had brought that hymnal over to my house as we were in the throes of clearing out my parents' home. I didn't want to be clearing out their home, to be selling their cozy house in the woods. I didn't want to be planning my father's memorial service. I wanted them both to still be alive, just a short drive away, so I could drop by any time to be welcomed with, "Hey, beautiful," from my dad, a cup of tea from Mom, and big hugs from both. I wanted to sit at my mother's piano with her, to sing and play together like we always did. From my earliest childhood memories, Mother and I would sit at her piano together, playing duets, singing songs from the dozens of Broadway songbooks that she collected, or harmonizing hymns from that gray UU hymnal, which she loved. As I was leafing through it that day, thinking about my father's service, suddenly a torn-off scrap of paper dropped out that I hadn't seen before. On the top was written in my mother's elegant cursive, "Favorite hymns," and underneath, number 101, "Abide with me." Number 123, "Spirit of Life." And number 347, "Gather the Spirit." I burst into tears for grief at how much I missed her, but also in gratitude for the love of music we had shared and for the gift of her. We included all of those hymns on that little scrap of paper in Dad's service. My mother joined the UU Church in Arlington in 1957, and I attended Sunday school there as a child. When I had a family of my own, David and I joined the church ourselves. As our children grew up, we attended services there with my mother for years, standing next to her while we sang hymns together was the best part of any service. She had a warm alto voice and could sing beautiful harmonies. In the last few years of her life, when she couldn't get herself there, Dad started driving her to church. I would sit between them, and we all sang together. Mom's voice was fading then, but she stood up and tried, and Dad made up for it by booming out with gusto, as he loved to do, not carrying any kind of tune. Dad could not match pitch, but I loved his incredibly low, beautiful, gravelly voice and the way he would just sing with abandon anyway. I'm sure all of you have similar memories of singing hymns from these wonderful books with your loved ones and friends. I hope that every Sunday here in this sanctuary, some of these hymn-singing memories are being made. The tradition of hymn singing in our UU faith goes back centuries. The first Universalist hymn book in the United States was printed in 1776, and Unitarians trace their earliest hymnal to 1783. These early hymnals borrowed liberally from Protestant hymn books of the time, and, well, you probably can guess it, they changed all the words. One of my favorite examples of a word exchange from these very early hymnals is the change from sinner to friend. But this heritage of hymn singing doesn't only descend from our Christian roots. Pharaohs in ancient Egypt wrote hymns to the sun deity Aten. The Rig Veda is a collection of ancient Sanskrit hymns. The Shi Qing, or Book of Songs from China, dates back to the 11th century BC. People of all faiths and cultures have sung hymns together. Fast forwarding again to the 19th century, Unitarians and Universalists produced more than 50 hymnals during that century, continuing the practice of changing words without any compunction. The pendulum is swinging back now. With awareness of cultural appropriation, the idea now is to not change the words. However, untangling where songs and texts originally came from to get back to those original words is very complex. And how do we honor, celebrate, and learn from the many world sources of our faith if we don't sing their songs? This is a complex question, perhaps for another day. When Unitarians and Universalists joined together in 1961, the new UUA created a new hymnal for our modern UU faith called Hymns for the Celebration of Life. And 30 years later, our gray hymnal that we use now came to be. Robert will be talking a bit more about that in a moment. The human need to sing together in community with others is ancient. Before there were churches and hymnals, our ancestors gathered to sing from the hilltops or under starry skies. We continue that wonderful ancient tradition right here at UUCR every Sunday. We sing together to give thanks, to express our pain and our grief together in community, to remind each other of the values that we share and our commitment to live by them, and to shout out our joy and wonder at just being alive. When we do this together, we connect. Often when we sing from these hymnals in this room, I am thinking of my mother. Among the countless gifts she left me, one was the gift of being a Unitarian Universalist. I knew all along what her favorite hymns were, but I still love having that little bit of paper. So now it's time for another hymn request. Are you ready? Okay. Who would like to? Leeanne has picked hymn 354, We Laugh, We Cry. That one is in the gray hymnal. We laugh, we cry. Let's sing verse 1 and 4. We'll do one more hymn. Morning has broken. Oops, not 118. 38. Number 38, Morning Has Broken.
Praise for the Our gray hymn book, Singing the Living Tradition, was published in 1993. It builds on the best traditions of previous hymn books and makes a bold step forward in the exploration of words and music of cultures not generally associated with Unitarian Universalism. Though some smaller publications had begun to include hymns or songs from various cultures mid-century, Singing the Living Tradition was the first standard denominational hymn book to include songs from Unitarians in Eastern Europe, spirituals from the African American tradition, folk and popular songs, music of major non-Christian religious traditions, and chants and rounds gathered from the various traditions of the world. All of this diversity was inspired by the association's accepted statement of principles and purposes in the mid-1980s that we now recognize and are inclusive of a broad base of sources from which we build our religious and spiritual foundation necessitates a wider range of musical possibility than a traditional hymn book could provide. The Hymn Book Resources Commission responded to their challenge by giving us a gift which represents us better than many dared to hope possible, which meet our expanding concerns for multiculturalism and religious pluralism. In the fall of 2003, UUA president appointed a musicians task force to create a new congregational hymn resource. This task force sought submissions for the new resource that offered fresh hymns, chants, or songs that enliven worship, music for making the seasons in the lives of our congregations, and music in a number of different styles, including jazz, folk, pop, spirituals, gospel, praise songs, call and response, chants, rounds, and traditional hymns, including materials highlighting the spirituality of the LGBTQ community, earth-centered and non-Western theologies, both male and female spirituality, and the music of cultures traditionally underrepresented in our communities. Our teal hymn book, Singing the Journey, a supplement to the gray hymn book, debuted at the 2005 UUA General Assembly in Fort Worth, Texas, to enthusiastic reviews. The first printing of the book sold out within 3 weeks and became the best-selling book in the history of UUA General Assemblies. Our hymn books represent who and what we are at a given moment in history. Because ours is a living faith, we sing a living tradition, one which must constantly change if it is to continue to reflect an accurate picture of our religious community. Since what we sing is what we are. Once again, since what we sing is what we are. On a personal note, I would like to highlight two particular hymns. Hymn number 10, hymn number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. This is a traditional Buddhist meditation. Once, during a 2023 Sunday service, this hymn, this prayer, this chant struck a deep devotional nerve, and my heart just opened further. And I wept during the entire singing of the hymn. Last week, Reverend Aileen spoke movingly of her profound experience and connection to the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. In his book, Breathe, You Are Alive, Sutra on the Full Awareness of Breathing, in part, he offers commentaries on 16 extremely short, pithy breathing exercises, all of which share the phrase, breathing in, breathing out. Hymn number 1009, Meditation on Breathing, also includes the repetition of breathe in, breathe out. And this is my request hymn sing.
We are going to sing together Robert's request, hymn number 1009, Meditation on Breathing. We're going to start with the bottom part, the low part, and work our way up. This is a 3-part song. So we'll sing together the bottom part twice, the middle part twice, the upper part twice, and then you can choose which part you would like to sing, and we'll have a 3-part song. We will do that twice.
Today, the Teal hymnal is almost 20 years old, and there is discussion about the need to update and renew our hymnals to reflect all the change and transformation going on in our faith. We thought you would be interested to know that the UUA is working on an ambitious project to transform what we think of as a hymnal. I first heard of this Virtual Hymnal Project at the UU Music Conference, which I attended in Baltimore last July. The vision of this project is to make hymns for congregational singing, as well as other events available online, accessible on any device, and with easy-to-use search capabilities. Rather than being a fixed set of content in just one format like an ebook, the virtual hymnal will be a living digital song resource, supporting hymns in multiple formats, voicings, and arrangements. One of the biggest challenges for this project is to make it financially sustainable and manage copyright payments while having subscription models that are affordable and flexible enough for small congregations. The UU is working closely with AUM, the Association of UU Music Ministries, professional musicians and songwriters to make the licensing of content equitable but easy to access. As you can imagine, that is a challenge. The UUA's Virtual Hymnal Task Force is working with the UUA's IT group to design and develop the technical infrastructure for the virtual hymnal. The task force surveyed hundreds of UU musicians and volunteers in December to help refine the features and priorities of the project. Because the licensing and infrastructure for the virtual hymnal are not yet ready for use, the project is not yet ready for accepting new content or for testing by congregations. This project is proceeding slowly and intentionally. So if we are patient, we can expect great things from it in future years. Now we will pick another hymn. You haven't picked them yet. Number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth.
Number 101, Abide With Me. This was on my mother's slip of paper. Number 318, We Would Be One.
I've prepared a few words for our benediction this morning. In singing, I discover I am not alone, not in my joy, nor in my despair. I find in hymn after hymn that someone, somewhere, has sung what is in my heart, what I've been unable to express with my own voice alone. I find my humanity reflected in someone far away and in someone in this room. My heart finds a home with someone long ago and someone by my side in this moment. One by one, I gather hymns that are dear to me, hymns that speak the voice of my own heart, hymns that have bound me to people I've loved, where I may meet them when they are no longer by my side. Hymns that breathe meaning into moments of my life that will never come again. Hymns that guide me with hope when I am unmoored. They do not ask transformation of us. They meet us where we are in every human moment. Their wisdom and love are given freely wherever we find ourselves. May we go forth embraced by our connection with all those who have opened their hearts to share in our beloved hymns with us, those who are here by our side and those who are far away, those here with us in this moment and those passed long ago. Thank you.
We now extinguish this flame. But not the light of hope and truth, nor the warmth of community, nor the fire of commitment. These we carry forth in our hearts until we are together again.
I have prepared words, but I fear I will digress. I think we all recognize and appreciate mightily the tremendous congregation made to our church by our music director and all the members of our choir. Not just this morning, but they sustained us completely throughout the period when we were excluded from the sanctuary by COVID, through their, through the remarkable creation of an electronic choir. We should all be very grateful. So forgive me for becoming overwhelmed. We invite our congregants to join in the sanctuary for coffee, tea, and fellowship. Those attending worship on Zoom can join us for our virtual Greet Your Neighbor coffee hour to discuss the service theme and enjoy fellowship with our congregants. The link is in the chat box and will be on a forthcoming slide. We hope you will use the chat box as a virtual receiving line to leave a message about your appreciation for the worship service. If you would like to have an updated directory photo taken today, please see Kathy Deligianis here in the sanctuary after the service ends. Kathy, would you stand up for a moment? If you have children in the religious education program, please grab coffee or tea and go to the RE room to meet with other families, RE staff, and teachers. In fact, if you have children from kindergarten through 6th grade, please join the group. We're going to leave the chairs set as they are, so please don't try to stack them. Thank you all very much. I wish you all a wonderful day.
For our postlude today, we will open our hearts to sing together one more time. We'll sing hymn number 1064, Blue Boat Home. So please rise in body or spirit and join us.